All right, so let's go over our functions as we've been doing. And our initial function is the absolute value of x. So let's talk about some of the points that we're going to use to find the initial function here, okay? So if I use my input, okay, if I take 0 and I plug it into the absolute value of x, what's our y value, our output? 0. All right? And if I take 1, the absolute value is 1. And the absolute value of 2, and the absolute value of a negative 1, and the absolute value of a negative 2. All right. So again, some of us have stopped graphing our initial function, which is okay to be at that spot, okay? And it's okay to also do that, all right? That's all right. Now let's talk about our transformations of our horizontal stretch and our vertical stretch, okay? So if I have a horizontal stretch, what do we need to do when we flip it? Good, so we're going to take the opposite. So -2 means we're going to shift it which direction? Left. Good. And K, our vertical shift, what are we going to do with that number? Keep it the same. All right. So what that means now is our graph is going to go to the left 2 and up 1. So our absolute value function, oh, I'm sorry, that's okay. It's okay to do it. You can say that like you normally would. It's life. So -2, -1 is my absolute value. So normally now we're going to go up 1 and over 1 and up 1 and over 1. But what does our negative, which we've just added in, it's our quiz, Chris, you said what was that part on? It's the reflection. So what does that negative do? Flips it. So we're going to reflect it upside down now. And so my absolute value graph will look like that when we have our final answer. But again, you can have the original, you can have the transformation, and then you can flip it. You can have 3 on there, or you can have your final on there. It doesn't matter. All right, let's talk about the points here for our cubed root. Okay, so our initial function, we have to be picky about what we put in for our inputs. Okay, so why am I picky about the inputs of this function?
Because it's, I don't know what it's called.
Perfect cube, good. Okay, so if I put in a perfect cube, that's 0, what else? 1, 8. Okay, if I put in perfect cubes, I'm going to get those whole numbers or integers as the output. So what's the cubed root of 0? And the cubed root of 1? And the cubed root of 8? And the cubed root of -1? And the cubed root of -8. All right, so now we're going to plug those in, okay? So we'll get our original cubed root function. Okay, so our horizontal shift here, okay? So if I'm looking inside, what am I moving here? Right, left, what's the number? Right, 3. We're going to take the opposite. And we're going to take exactly. So if I go to the right 3 and up 2, that's my new starting point. And usually it's going to mirror the same way. We're going to go right 1 and up 1, right 8 and up 2 from that. But what's different here about the rest of this function that we're adding in for the quiz? We got to flip it. We're going to take the reflection right here. So that means instead of to the right and up, we're to the right and down on our reflection. And it's coming across this way. Okay? All right.